Hello everyone, welcome to the Tim Booker channel. Wishing you a pleasant listening experience. Today, together, we're diving into a good book. Amy Morin's 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. In this book, it's described how people can control their emotions, thoughts, and actions, making their inner self stronger. The book also provides valuable suggestions, real-life examples, and practical solutions to help readers overcome fears and embrace a fulfilling life. What can you learn? Overcoming obstacles to live the life you desire. Imagine this, at the gym, after a strenuous workout on the treadmill. On the drive back home, you think to yourself, "I've really worked hard today, I deserve a little treat." Before you even realize it, you've already pulled into a donut shop. You wolf down a few donuts without much thought. While this may not be a big deal, many of us feel ashamed afterward due to such actions. While hard work aims to improve our lives continually, don't fixate on things that might undermine our efforts. In the following sharing, I'll present you with 13 habits. If you want a stronger inner self, greater success, and a happier life, avoiding these habits is key. In the book, we'll delve into how Oprah Winfrey achieved success, how to react when others succeed, and why you should steer clear of toxic rivalry. Mentally strong individuals transform self-pity into gratitude. No one's life is smooth sailing all the time. Everyone eventually faces challenges in life, be it illness or other predicaments. How one handles them is an art. Mentally strong individuals don't waste time in self-pity during hardships. They transform self-pity into thankfulness. And you can learn to do the same. For a compelling example of how important inner strength and gratitude are, consider American long-distance runner Marla Runyon. Not only did she complete the New York City Marathon in just over 2 hours, she also earned a master's degree in education and authored a book. What's truly impressive is that during these achievements, she was legally blind, diagnosed with Stargardt's disease affecting her vision at age 9. Despite the rapid decline in her eyesight, Runyon nurtured her passion for running, accumulating numerous medals, even setting world records at the 1992 and 1996 Paralympics. She didn't dwell in self-pity, never viewing herself as flawed. Instead, she saw the disease as an opportunity to become a world-class athlete. Her attitude was one of gratitude, not focused on what she lost due to her condition. There's scientific basis for this. Studies suggest that cultivating gratitude can make a person stronger in many aspects. For instance, improving physical well-being. In 2003, research published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who practiced gratitude had a better immune system, experienced fewer physical ailments, exercised more frequently, enjoyed better sleep quality, and overall had better health than others. So, indeed, having a grateful heart is tremendously important. Next, let's explore another characteristic of inner strength. Mentally strong individuals persist in their actions' power and forgive those who have harmed them. In 1956, Andy Warhol's proposal to the Museum of Modern Art in New York to showcase his clothes drawings was rejected, as they believed this young man lacked potential. Yet, decades later, Warhol's fire burned brightly, and he had his own museum. Before Madonna published the long collection with over 10 million copies sold, she received a rejection letter from a prominent cosmetics company, with a dismissive note, saying she was worthless. Most successful individuals have faced such moments. Being rejected, denied, almost allowing negative opinions to strangle their vision at birth. What sets apart mentally strong individuals like Madonna and Warhol is that they don't let others' negative opinions affect their thoughts and actions in life. They refuse to let others control their lives. Oprah Winfrey is also a vivid example of a powerful mindset. She came from poverty and endured humiliation numerous times. Becoming pregnant at 14, her child passed away shortly after birth. During that time, she often faced ridicule due to poverty. However, Winfrey didn't spend her days worrying about what others thought of her. but instead invested her precious time in learning and working, ultimately becoming a television news anchor. Yet, she was fired under the pretext of being unsuitable for broadcasting. Still, she didn't give up. Winfrey worked even harder than before, eventually creating a well-known talk show. For someone who once was so poor that they used potato sacks as clothing, someone who was laughed at for their poverty, this was a significant achievement. From Winfrey's journey, we can see the power of resolute determination is crucial for success. So, how can we do it? To awaken our inner strength, we must first forgive others' disapproval. Even if it's unjust, this might seem counterintuitive. But if you hold on to resentment, those feelings of anger and resentment, in reality, have little impact on the person you disdain. Instead, they limit your own abilities. And the angrier you are, the more you're assisting that person, disrupting your own life. Hence, forgiving others and redirecting focus onto ourselves can awaken the power within us. And research indicates that being forgiving can lower stress, significantly benefiting both body and mind. For instance, when people release anger, their blood pressure decreases, and their heart beats more calmly. In 2012, research published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine suggested that practicing forgiveness can contribute to a longer life. Of course, the forgiveness referred to here is unconditional and absolute. Those who only forgive when others meet their conditions, such as apologizing, have a shorter lifespan than those who forgive unconditionally. So, don't relinquish the power to move forward while learning to be forgiving. Mentally strong individuals can embrace change. Greg Mathis is a prime example of strong inner strength. Despite multiple arrests during his teenage years, he promised his deceased mother that he'd change. So, during probation, he worked at McDonald's while studying diligently, ultimately gaining admission to the University of Michigan Law School. However, due to his criminal record, he couldn't become a lawyer. In the past, this difficulty could have easily deterred Mathis. But at that point, he was ready to confront any change. So he quickly found alternative paths, becoming a public servant in Detroit. After working in the Detroit city government's community department for a while, he and his wife established a non-profit organization that helped young people find jobs. A few years later, despite his opponents throwing his criminal past at him, the people of Detroit still elected him as a judge. Mathis successfully exemplified another trait of mentally strong individuals, embracing change. So, how can you initiate real change? First, ask yourself what you want to change. Carefully contemplate how this change would make you feel. Be especially vigilant when negative thoughts like, "I can't," or "my efforts are futile," arise. When troublesome thoughts like these surface, you have the power to decide whether to heed them. Soon, you'll find these thoughts are baseless, devoid of any value. Once you're able to dismiss these notions, you can set a 5-step plan for successful change. Set a 30-day goal for yourself. For instance, if you intend to learn French, 30 days can suffice to master 300 commonly used words. Once you've set your goal, establish actionable steps you can take daily to help you achieve it. For example, to learn 300 French words in 30 days. Commit to learning 10 new words at a specific time each day. During the execution of your plan, you might encounter difficulties. Sometimes, you might feel bored due to repetition of words. In such instances, imagine yourself in France, engaging in comfortable conversations with others in French. This can provide you with the motivation you need. Creating an accountability mechanism, find a friend willing to test your progress with those 300 words after the 30-day period. This way, you're more likely to achieve your goal. Measure each bit of progress, record how many words you've learned in a notebook. Watching your daily accumulations grow will fuel your perseverance. Throughout the change process, be mindful of your feelings, while motivating yourself. Your goal will undoubtedly be achieved. Mentally strong individuals aren't distracted by things they can't control. Anyone who's been stuck in traffic on their way to an important event knows how frustrating it can be. You mutter curses at the cars in front of you. Though venting may feel good at the time, it's ultimately a waste of both time and energy. But mentally strong individuals never do this. Because they never react to things they can't control. Like Terry Fox. Diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a severe bone disease, at 18. His leg was amputated due to this. Doctors told him his chances of survival were less than 15%. A day before the surgery, Fox read about an individual with a prosthetic leg completing the New York City Marathon, which inspired him. After the surgery, he took up running, soon finishing his first marathon. This was just the beginning. Fox was determined to run across Canada, to raise money for cancer research and sponsors. For this epic journey, he ran a full marathon distance every day. Midway through, his cancer returned, forcing him to halt and be hospitalized. Though he didn't finish his cross-country run, his courage and ambition moved people. Sponsorship funds poured in. Several months later, he sadly passed away. But his cancer research fundraising efforts raised a sponsorship fund of $23 million. So, what do we learn from Fox's story? Don't waste time on things you can't control. Focus on actions that you can influence. Just like Fox, who couldn't control his health condition, but focused on raising funds for charity, doing what he could. Research also shows that adopting such an attitude toward things beyond our control significantly boosts life satisfaction. In 2012, a study conducted by Adler indicated that having less desire for control in life can increase happiness and foster more harmonious relationships. The happiest individuals are those who strive for personal growth while accepting reality. Constantly pleasing others is futile, and sometimes learning to say no can make you stronger. You might discover that some individuals are very afraid of expressing their anger or these genuine emotions, fearing that it might hurt others' feelings. Perhaps we have people like this around us. Although taking care of others' feelings is generally seen as virtuous, it often backfires in the end. Therefore, to strengthen your inner self, you must learn not to fear potentially hurting others' feelings. For example, the author's friend Angela always goes to great lengths to please the men she's dating. If they mention they like humorous women, she tells more jokes. If they say they prefer natural and unpretentious girls, she recounts her travels to France with meticulously arranged details, presenting herself as effortlessly natural. She hopes that by doing this, she can make herself more likable, but it usually works against her. After all, no one wants to be with someone who adjusts their life like a television screen to fit others' preferences. It's insincere and shallow. Additionally, Angela feels that expressing her own opinions could hurt the other person's feelings and lead to a breakup. Therefore, no matter what her date says, she unconditionally agrees. Eventually, this results in her solely caring about others' feelings while neglecting her own. Thus, consistently seeking to please others isn't a sustainable way of living. Being prepared to accept that others might not always be pleased with you is what makes you stronger. Regarding Nathaniel Smucker, he grew up in an Amish community. Upon reaching adulthood, he began questioning his adherence to Amish traditions and beliefs. Leaving wasn't an easy decision, as it meant severing ties with the community, including his mother and sister. He initially attempted to leave his current village, traveling to another Amish community, to explore the outside world. Eventually, he realized he had become strong enough to leave everything familiar behind. He moved to Missouri, started working for a construction company, and got married. The security brought by this new life allowed him to better accept his disconnection from the cultural aspects of his childhood and listen to his own voice. Focusing on yourself rather than others makes you more confident and happier. Internally strong individuals are not afraid to take appropriate risks. If you're unwilling to bear any risks at all, you won't achieve much success. However, avoid taking excessive risks, as they could lead to failures that are unacceptable to you. For instance, deciding to quit your job and turn your interests into a business without prior entrepreneurial experience might sound appealing, but in reality, the risks you'll face are often greater than anticipated. And in the event of failure, you not only lose your job and income but also the courage to take risks again. This is why internally strong people try to minimize risks as much as possible. When they have to take risks, they carefully choose what risks they're willing to bear. The first step in mitigating risks is analyzing their nature. Only when you understand the various aspects that contribute to the risks can you gradually minimize them. For example, when the author had to deliver a speech at a graduation ceremony, she felt more fear than excitement. She tried to identify the source of her fear and the underlying risks. She realized that her fear stemmed from the possibility that the audience might not like her speech. So, she came up with a small solution to overcome this fear with the help of her best friend. As soon as she finished her speech, her friend stood up and applauded. On the day of the speech, although she was nervous and stumbled at times, as soon as she finished, her friend's enthusiastic applause made it seem like she was an idol. Surprisingly, others followed suit. With this little preparation, the author was able to bear the risk of public speaking and avoided the embarrassment she had feared. Let's also take a look at the example of the renowned psychologist Albert Ellis. When he was young, Ellis was afraid to talk to girls due to the fear of rejection. However, through rational analysis, he discovered that rejection wasn't as terrifying as he had imagined. Consequently, he decided to engage in conversations with women. He would visit a local botanical park every day and strike up conversations with women. Subsequently, he would invite them for a drink. In total, he spoke to 130 women, out of which 30 left shortly after sitting down. Among the remaining 100, he extended invitations to go out, but only one accepted, and she didn't show up in the end. However, for Ellis, this was insignificant. What mattered to him was realizing that his previous fear of rejection was baseless, and he shouldn't let fear hinder his normal interactions with the opposite sex. To become stronger, it's essential to confront the risks that impede your progress. Perhaps they aren't as dangerous or frightening as you imagine. Taking practical steps to confront your past will make you stronger. Many individuals feel burdened by their past or family background, but in reality, there are ways to overcome these obstacles to move forward. Take the example of positive-minded social worker Gwyn O'Neill. Born in a small village in Vermont, she experienced physical and psychological abuse from her father. She didn't share this with anyone and focused on her studies to escape her hometown. She married in her teens and worked as a truck driver alongside her husband. After finally liberating herself from her troubled past, she discovered that her brother was abusing his own children, following in her father's footsteps. O'Neill immediately decided that certain things needed to change. She returned to Vermont, attended college, utilized every spare moment to study, and eventually obtained a law degree. With some financial support, she founded the Reasonable Walk Around the World initiative, providing mobile legal services to families facing abuse in remote areas. O'Neill's approach demonstrates a crucial aspect of inner strength, confronting one's past. This doesn't imply pretending nothing happened, rather, it's about accepting what has occurred and finding peace with it, allowing you to move forward more effectively today. Much like Gwyn O'Neill, she didn't escape her past or erase memories entirely. Instead, she leveraged her personal experiences to make the world a better place. Shaking hands with and making peace with the past isn't easy, but taking it one step at a time, regardless of what has happened, is essential for learning to embrace life. Afterward, lower your defense against those things that have consistently prevented you from making changes. For instance, if you find that the pain from a past relationship is holding you back from getting to know new people, try changing this attitude. Don't let the past constrain you. Seek the footsteps of true love. Inner strength entails high self-discipline, which helps you avoid repeating mistakes. If you can apply the mentioned concepts in practical situations, your inner strength will gradually grow. However, in reality, you have already made changes and are prone to falling back into old habits. This is another crucial characteristic of mentally strong individuals. They learn from their mistakes and avoid repeating them. For example, Laura Meiji, in the mid-19th century, owned a textile shop in a quiet area of Manchester. She struggled to attract customers daily due to the shop's location. To bring attention to her new store, Meiji organized a grand parade in the town. Unfortunately, the parade day was accompanied by heavy rainfall, and no one attended. Consequently, she had to abandon her business. However, Meiji learned from this failure and vowed not to repeat the same mistake. Thus, when she reopened Meiji Emporium, she chose a prime location in the heart of New York City and achieved great success. Meiji Emporium eventually became one of the world's largest retail chains. To this day, the store holds a parade in autumn, as the chances of unexpected heavy rainfall are much lower during that season. So, how can you apply this principle to your life? If you want to learn from your mistakes, ask yourself a few questions when things don't go smoothly. 1. What did I do wrong? 2. Where could I have done better? 3. What can I improve next time? Be honest in answering these questions, push negative emotions and self-doubt aside, and persistently carry on. With time, you'll know exactly how to handle similar situations in the future. However, knowing how to improve doesn't necessarily mean you can implement it. That's why people seeking to break bad habits need self-discipline. Here are a few simple methods to help you become more self-disciplined. 1. Always remember your goals. When you feel like lying down to watch TV, imagine how great it will feel to accomplish your goal. For example, finishing the last sentence of a novel. This way, you'll be motivated to work at night instead of watching TV. 2. List why you don't want to repeat your mistakes. For instance, if you're trying to lose weight but have struggled with going to the gym regularly, write down why you don't want to repeat this mistake. Carry it with you and read it when you feel like staying home. By the time you reflect on it, you'll already be on your way to the gym. 3. Make it harder to make mistakes. For example, if your goal is to save money for travel, but you often overspend when going out with friends, carry limited cash and leave your credit card at home before heading out. This way, you won't be able to overspend. Mentally strong individuals don't harbor jealousy towards others' success, instead, they seek ways to collaborate with them. Do you find yourself feeling unhappy about the success of those around you? If so, you're not alone, such feelings of envy are quite common. In 2013, psychologist Minha Chela conducted a study that revealed people not only resent others' success but also feel a certain pleasure when a successful person faces misfortune. She presented participants with images of 4 types of people: a student, an elderly person, a drug addict, and a successful individual. They were shown in different scenarios. Astonishingly, when they saw the successful person encountering trouble, like getting splashed by water from a puddle by a passing car, they were even happier than when any of the 4 types of people experienced good fortune. While disdain and envy towards others' success are normal human reactions, this mindset isn't healthy. If you aspire to become successful, you must learn to overcome jealousy and utilize their strengths to benefit yourself. The best way to do so is through collaboration. Take Milton House as an example. While working at House's chocolate factory, his employee Lisa started a competing candy company in the same city. Surprisingly, House didn't feel anger or hatred towards this development. Instead, he provided comprehensive support to Lisa and even let him develop his unique creation, the creamy peanut cup candy, using House's factory to produce milk chocolate for Lisa's research. As a result, the 2 men had to maintain a cooperative relationship. After their passing, the 2 companies even merged. If they had initially succumbed to jealousy of each other's success, they would likely have engaged in pointless rivalry. Conversely, by supporting each other's ideas and leveraging each other's strengths, they fostered the growth of their companies, leading to continuous profitability. In conclusion, those who can appreciate and congratulate others on their success will ultimately attract exceptional individuals to collaborate with them. These so-called competitors can inspire and motivate each other, leading to mutual success. Mentally strong individuals, when faced with failure, can console themselves and are not quick to give up. We often imagine that success will come to us effortlessly. However, in reality, success often emerges after numerous failures. This is precisely why mentally strong individuals understand how to persevere and turn failures into stepping stones toward success. Speaking of this, there's perhaps no better example than Thomas Edison. He was a great inventor in history, known for inventing the light bulb, which revolutionized the world and made him globally renowned. Imagine a world without light bulbs. However, Edison also invented things like the electric pen and an automated vote recorder, both of which were failures. And these were only a fraction of his failures. Nonetheless, Edison didn't see these as failures, he regarded them as learning opportunities. These experiments taught him what worked and what didn't. Each failure brought him one step closer to success in his view, a perspective that proved effective. Research has shown that effort is more critical than innate talent in achieving success. For instance, those who relentlessly put in effort over a decade, never giving up despite failures, often outperform those who initially seemed talented. This holds true for athletes, musicians, and visual artists alike. With 2 decades of diligent practice, even those initially lacking apparent talent can reach a world-class level. So, failure is a part of the journey to success. Yet, despite this, no one desires failure, as most consider it shameful. The key to overcoming the fear of failure is to learn to console oneself and change one's perception of failure. Consider an experiment from 2012. Students who didn't perform well in the first exam were given a chance to retake it to improve their scores. The results showed that students who could console themselves after their initial failure, rather than feeling a blow to their self-esteem, were able to put in 25% more effort in preparing for the exam. They also scored higher than those who had become disheartened. Hence, learning to console oneself in the face of failure and mistakes is crucial. Mentally strong individuals can enhance their ability to adapt to solitude and embrace it through meditation. When you find yourself with ample time and alone, do you immediately turn on the television or seek outside activities to distract yourself? Most of us are accustomed to being surrounded by various noises daily. Moreover, many people attempt to maintain this state constantly, allowing external sounds to cover their inner thoughts and worries. However, this is an unwise choice and habit. Mentally strong individuals never fear being alone. For them, these moments of full self-focus are opportunities for reflection, self-inspiration, and rejuvenation. Everyone can try this. Take some time to contemplate your lifelong goals. Are you on the path to achieving them? At this moment, also pay attention to your inner voice and see if there are any pressures or negative emotions you need to address. Finally, take advantage of this opportunity to set new goals, envision the life you desire, and jot these down in a memo to remind yourself constantly. For mentally strong individuals, another crucial weapon is meditation. When you can sit quietly, facing the various thoughts churning in your mind, meditation can help you adapt to this state even better. Numerous experiments in the last century have investigated the benefits of meditation. They found that meditation can alter brain structure and be helpful for enhancing cognitive abilities and emotional management. Meditation has also been shown to have positive effects on certain ailments like breathing difficulties, tumors, insomnia, chronic pain, and heart problems. If you're skeptical about the benefits of meditation on the body, look at the example of Wim Hof from the Netherlands. Hof trained his body through meditation, allowing him to withstand extreme cold, earning him the nickname Iceman. He regularly takes ice baths for over an hour and can climb to halfway up Mount Kilimanjaro in just shorts. Fortunately, nowadays people from various professions generally regard meditation as a way to enhance productivity. So even if you take a break to meditate, no one will find you strange. While most people value receiving, truly strong individuals are more inclined to give than to receive. During a child's upbringing, parents often tell them that they're exceptional, talented, and that they will receive various good things. While parents say these things out of love, they often don't benefit the child. Take Ethan Couch, for instance. In 2013, this Texas teenager killed 4 people while driving under the influence. His lawyer argued that the boy shouldn't be held accountable for his actions because he suffered from affluenza, meaning he was so wealthy and privileged that he felt entitled and never needed to take responsibility for his actions. Shockingly, this argument worked, and Couch was given probation, avoiding jail time. However, valuing one's entitlement is not limited to the wealthy. Nowadays, more and more people console their less fortunate friends by saying, "Don't worry, something better will come along," or, "After going through so much, good things will happen to you." The underlying problem with this phenomenon is that people stop striving for what they want and start focusing solely on what they can receive. If this way of thinking persists, how can one work diligently to achieve what they want? Mentally strong individuals are different. They don't expect the world to grant them success or good luck, they prefer to give. Like Shalater Bin, who was diagnosed with a brain tumor in his early 20s. He battled the illness for a year and a half before passing away. Throughout that time, he never felt that the world owed him something due to his misfortune. Instead, he often thought about what he could do for others. For instance, while chatting with fellow patients, he realized that many who lived far from the treatment center needed to commute daily for treatment. With the support of friends, Bin established an emergency shelter next to the treatment center. Even after his passing, his family and friends continue to operate the shelter. They organize various volunteer activities to raise funds and ensure the shelter's ongoing operation. Mentally strong individuals understand that success takes time and that nothing can be achieved overnight. Have you managed to stick to the plans you made for the new year? Most people haven't. In 1972, a study examined whether people were successful with their New Year's resolutions. The results showed that 25% of individuals gave up on their resolutions within 15 weeks. In a similar experiment in 1989, people abandoned their resolutions after just 1 week. The reason behind this is that our set goals and expectations are often unrealistic. When reaching those goals becomes consistently difficult, we tend to give up. How can you set more achievable goals? Consider the following rules. Firstly, don't assume that making changes will be easy. Be mentally prepared from the start that reaching your goals will be challenging. Especially when your goals involve breaking bad habits, such as quitting smoking, these habits are often deeply ingrained in our daily behavior more than we realize. If you mentally prepare for the difficulty, you're more likely to succeed. Secondly, don't get fixated on a specific deadline for achieving your goal. While it's good to have an idea of when you'd like to accomplish your goal, it's not necessary to have a rigid time frame. For instance, some programs suggest breaking a bad habit in 21 days, but if you need 101 days, that's perfectly fine. Set a comfortable and approximate time frame for yourself. Lastly, don't assume that achieving the goal will suddenly make your life significantly better. Losing 10 pounds is just a reduction in weight, don't expect it to miraculously improve your romantic or career prospects. By following these steps, you can make the journey of sticking to your plan a bit easier and less disappointing along the way. Mentally strong individuals know that the progress they make often won't show up immediately. Sometimes, progress is subtle or even appears as regression. For instance, the author once advised parents on how to deal with children's tantrums. The advice given to parents was to ignore the children when they lay on the floor kicking and screaming. Many parents complained initially, saying that the children's cries became louder, the tantrums more intense, and the behavior worsened. This is to be expected. Children often get more upset when they're not getting a reaction and will escalate their tantrums to get their way. If parents consistently ignore the behavior, it will eventually diminish. This example illustrates the need for patience. Even if you don't see immediate results, it's important to stick to your plan and stay committed. In conclusion, let's summarize the main points of this book. To become mentally strong and benefit more from life, you should 1. Avoid self-pity. 2. Not give up on yourself because of others. 3. Embrace change. 4. Not dwell on things you can't control. 5. Stop trying to please everyone. 6. Fearlessly approach danger, but be selective about the risks you're willing to take. 7. Avoid dwelling on the past. 8. Not stumble over the same stone twice. 9. Not resent others' success. 10. Persevere after failure and not give up easily. 11. Overcome the fear of loneliness. 12. Not place too much value on possessions. 13. Learn patience, nothing is achieved instantly. The author also provides practical advice. We've covered the 13 points about becoming mentally strong to pay attention to. Now, let's explore how to put them into practice. It's not enough to just read, you need to implement them in your life. Starting today, become your own coach and do the following daily. 1. Did you retreat from change? 2. Are you making repetitive mistakes? 3. If so, strategize based on the knowledge you've gained. 4. Monitor your emotional shifts. Do you have regrets? 5. Do you resent other success? 6. If so, reflect on these negative emotions and replace them with more positive thoughts. 7. Are you getting upset about things you can't control? 8. Do you have unrealistic fantasies? 9. If so, replace them with more feasible thoughts. Persist, and your mental strength will gradually increase. That concludes Amy Morin's book on mental strength. Congratulations on completing another book. Thank you all for your support and attention. Please subscribe to the Tim Booker channel, give it a thumbs up, and share this valuable knowledge with your friends. Let's combine wisdom with practice, achieve our financial goals, and create a better future together. Thank you, and goodbye.